Right edition. Welcome. I got guests today. I got breaking news today. I got Ed Burlew with me here on Skype, and I've also got Ian Thomson with us, and he's only with us by phone. Ian, are you there?
I'm here.
Hey, good to talk to you. And Ed, are you there? I can see you, but can I hear you?
Well, yeah, I'm here.
Okay, isn't that great? Now, Ed Burlew is an attorney. He specializes in gun defenses. He's represented close to 1,000 people across Canada in court with gun violations, or charges at least. And Ian Thomson has some breaking news today with regard to his case. And firstly, we're going to start off with you, Ed, and give us a little background on the Ian Thomson case. Even though Ian Thomson is on the phone with us, you start, and then Ian will jump in and kind of take it from there. Where did this thing begin?
Well, this story of Ian's really began when he was firebombed in August a few years ago. And there were 7 Molotov cocktails lobbed at his house and through his windows in the space of 1 minute. And he tried to call the police. He was fumbling so bad on the phone while these firebombs were coming in. I mean, he even set his dog on fire out in the kennel. And so then he ran in, he opened the safe, he got his first gun, loaded it, and shot 3 rounds as warning shots to scare these people away. He ran out just as they were throwing the firebomb at him. He had tremendous courage, and he saved his own life. As soon as they left, he got it. He got his phone again, he called 911 and waited over 10 minutes for the police to come.
What happened when they came?
Well, they charged Ian.
They charged Ian. They charged a good guy. Ian, why would people be firebombing you in the first place? Well, let me back up a little bit. What was the exact time and date of the firebomb? I believe it was in August. What year was it?
It was August 22nd, 2010 at about 6:30 in the morning.
6:30 a.m. So now back to the original question. Why would someone be firebombing you?
In 2005, when I bought this property, I was on speaking terms with my neighbor. Over the course of several months, he allowed livestock, which he's not permitted to have, to wander onto my property. It was damaging the property. I pleaded with him for 6.5 months to please keep his animals off my property. I made no complaints to the police, the city, or anybody with regard to this. And he laughed, and I watched him actually throw bait down to get his animals to come close to the property line, and eventually they wander over. So with that, I warned him again that if he didn't keep his animals off my property, these were chickens at the time, he said goats as well, that I would shoot them. And after 5 times in one morning of shooing these animals away, I got fed up, I had enough, and I took out the big rooster. And
you shot the rooster?
I shot the rooster.
Okay. What kind of gun did you shoot the rooster with?
I used a pellet gun, actually.
Okay, got it. Carry on.
And so, knowing that if the rooster wasn't around, the hens wouldn't follow. So I got rid of that, and then he came home and saw the rooster and went berserk. He called the police, he called the Humane Society, and I was well within my rights under any statute or law to do what I did. And he wasn't happy about it. So since then, it's been an absolute nightmare having to deal with that and other issues. Death threats. He's been convicted of threatening death to me.
He's actually been convicted? Did he serve time for threatening your life?
Unfortunately, we have too many soft-bellied judges here in Canada, and they will not met out a sentence commensurate to the crime. And since that time, since 2006, when all of this stuff started to go down, he has been convicted 4 times where I'm the victim, and we're going back to court again for another one. So it would be 5 times in less than 9 years. That he will be convicted again. Okay.
So this happened, and then how many people attacked your home?
Well, the plan was that one organized the three actual assailants to show up that morning.
So 3 men showed up at 6 o'clock plus that morning?
That's right.
Okay.
Now,
Was the neighbor one of them?
no, however, one of the fellows that showed up, Randy Weaver, he's the one who led the attack that morning, and he has been convicted. He was sitting in my neighbor's driveway one afternoon when I came home. He was on a motorcycle, and he spun that around when he saw me and was popping wheelies at my driver's side window as I was backing in my driveway and screaming threats at me. So, not willing to take any nonsense from him or anyone else for that matter, I just blew him a kiss. And I guess that really sent his mercury right through the top. And the morning of the attack, when he was throwing firebombs at my kitchen window, you can hear him clearly on the video yelling, "So you love me, so you love me, eh?" And so that, you don't have to be a rocket science to put 2 and 2 together to figure out who it was on the motorcycle.
No, I guess not. So when you say he was convicted, was he sent to jail?
He was sent to prison.
For how long?
He got just a few years, and then he appealed that, and he was let out early because the judge made an error in his calculation on sentencing. So he actually, leading the gang, he did less time than the other 3.
Yeah. How much time did he do? Ed, do you know? Was it like a year or 2? Like, was it less? Where I'm going with this is, had you been convicted, you would have had an automatic 3 years. I'm just trying to get a balance between the timelines here, or the times that you'd have to serve. Ed, did he serve less than 3 years? This Randy fellow?
Ian knows that better than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did federal time. I think, Ian, he got 4 years, right?
Was it 4?
He got 3 years, and then he got
out in 2.
He got time off for time served.
Yeah. Nothing turns on, that's okay, and nothing turns on that. Now, in terms of having proof, you've referenced a video, and I have seen the videos, and we don't have room on our screen right now. At the end of our program, Ed, after you and I are done, we're going to show some of the videos, so please stay tuned. I mean, here's a guy, Ian, that was all set for this because he knew something bad was coming. Am I correct with that, Ian? You knew. And so you put videos around, and you see these guys actually throwing the cocktails at your home. You see that your dog's in trouble. All of this was proof that you had available for the police. Am I right?
Well, the cameras didn't go up because I was anticipating being firebombed. The cameras went up because I was having so many issues with this neighbor next door.
Yes, I didn't mean to infer you expected a firebomb, but you expected something, you wanted to be alert, and as a result of that, you did capture every event on your cameras. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so there is no dispute here. Somebody didn't say I didn't do it, because if they did, here you are on the screen. So all of that we know. Okay, so then the police came. Let me fast forward. The police came, and you aimed high, I understand, to scare them off. I mean, I would have aimed lower. Just saying.
Well, the problem I have with that, and that was part of the CFO's decision to not issue the permit, was that I fired warning shots, and he indicates that is not the proper use of a firearm.
I see. Okay, well, we'll get to that, because that's a minute or so from now, but I'm with you. So then the police came, and after you reported the bad guys doing bad things, and they arrested the good guy. Now, let me just throw in here about guns. Why do you have guns? I mean, are your guns legal? Do you know how to use a gun? What's your background with regard to firearms?
I have an extensive background, I think, in firearms. I started as a young boy with 22s, pellet guns, and so on. I've had guns all my life. I went into the military. I was what they call a reservist on Class B duty, so I was actually attached full-time to a regular force unit.
Okay.
Search and rescue. So we did have to qualify at Gordon.
And you're licensed, obviously, and Ed made mention that you had to get your licensed handgun out of a safe, and so you followed all of the rules, and your ammo was somewhere else, and all of that stuff. I mean, so you did what you were supposed to do, and you defended your life. And Ed, So Ed, then he was arrested and you became involved, of course, because you're the attorney. And so tell us a little bit about what happened then. You went to court and you said, my guy's a good guy, and I understand $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 later, you were right, but it took a struggle and a couple of years. Kind of lead up to where we are now, and then we'll get into the last stage, which of course is the breaking news, which is the real news of this, but I think everybody, our viewers, need to have the background here, because this is an astounding thing. And by the way, as I'm on a little rant here, let me share this with all of you viewers. If you're against guns, it's irrelevant. This really isn't about guns. This is about rights. This is about your country. This is about your policeman. This is about having the right to have your freedom. And you know, the gun part is a little bit of it, and you'll get that as we go further on. Ed, answer my question, my long-winded one, please.
Well, after a year of trial, we had 7 days of trial. Over the course of a year, the judge had to think about it. We came back and he acquitted Ian. Ian was charged at first with pointing a firearm, dangerous use of a firearm. I negotiated that away. And then in the process of negotiating that away, they decided to charge him with unsafe storage because he got his guns too quick. And they said, well, that's not right.
Who's they?
The judge says it is right.
Who's they? The CFOs, the Chief Firearm Officer, or the police, or who?
It was the Crown Attorney, the Attorney General of Ontario, made sure that Ian's life was to be, you know, he was descended upon by the prosecutors.
Okay, got it.
And it was a valiant fight, a lot.
Okay. And during all of this activity in court, Ian, were you allowed to still go target shooting and things like that, or were you frozen from all of that, or were you on bail? Were you restricted to your, you know, X number of miles from your home?
They took his guns.
They took your guns, and you weren't allowed to go to a gun range and rent a gun.
You couldn't touch a gun.
I was not allowed to be in possession of a firearm. I wasn't out on bail. They let me go. I'm such a bad guy, I guess, that they were confident enough to let me go on my own recognizance.
Yeah. But you
I
couldn't.
signed a piece of paper to say I wouldn't be in possession of firearms, ammunition, so on and so on.
Yeah.
And they seized all my firearms for 2.5 years.
Wow. Okay, you got them all back, though. At the end of this, when Ed got through the court business and you were proven to be the good guy that you are, all of your guns were returned. Were your rights returned? Were you able to have your license again to have the guns? Obviously, they wouldn't just give you the guns without a license. So were you back to normal?
Well, yes and no. I received the guns back. So there was some damage to a few of them because they had taken some of them apart. They took several rounds of ammunition, and obviously that they had played with quite a bit of it because I didn't get all the ammunition back that they took. They even went so far as to dismantle or pull a bullet from a case to see what kind of powder was inside.
Oh my. So after you got them, though, then you felt that life should be normal again, but then it wasn't so much because the bad guys kept coming back to hassle you, and then my understanding here is that you went and made application for a concealed carry permit, which Ed and I have talked about in the past. It's supposed to be allowed for a person that has experience with a gun to have a carry permit if people are threatening and actually chasing somebody with regard to taking their life. How am I doing? And so several months ago you made application. Ed, were you involved in that application?
I helped advise him on that. He made application 19 months ago, 19 months.
Okay, and our breaking news today, of course, is the results of that application. But just to go back to prior to the application, Ian, why did you do that? Why did you apply? Why do you feel that you needed to carry a gun? Was your life really in danger? What made you think that?
Oh, absolutely. What has happened here, ever since I've lived here and had trouble with this neighbor, is I have been followed by him and his family members and his family's friends. I've been followed home from the store. I've been followed leaving my property. I'm not able to walk my street without being accosted. I've been hit with house bricks. I've been hit with rocks. I've reported all of this to the police, yet the Niagara Regional Police Service seems reluctant to do anything about it, and I have absolute no faith in the local police to protect me. And I know that Randy Weaver, Justin Lee, Michael Tiberge, and Richard Coolhurst are of the type. They're all recidivists, and they're going to want retribution for being put behind bars.
Those were the arsonists.
What's that, Ed?
They were the 4 arsonists.
The 4 arsonists, okay. And so that made you, Ian, of course, feel that you wanted to protect yourself because there's nobody else that can or even should protect you other than yourself, so you made application for the permit. Is that right?
Yes, I have an obligation to protect myself.
Yeah.
And I think that my application was legitimate. It was not done for a frivolous matter. I have been attacked on a number of occasions, and I have received more than one death threat.
Yeah.
And even as of last year, I found improvised explosives in my driveway.
Oh, wow. Okay, so all of that takes us to today. And you now have received, I understand, a 24-page rebuttal or refusal that took 19 months to come, as if they thought maybe they phoned the bad guys and said, don't kill anybody for 19 months until we get the job done. Pardon me, sarcasm. But anyway, you got it now. And the breaking news is news that we kind of anticipated being, in Canada, coming from the left, as it were. Ed, let's talk about that. Let's talk about the 24 pages of what? What is it? Nonsense? It says no.
Well,
why does it take so many pages to say no?
It's a lot of things. First of all, this is the front of it.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it's got a lot of talking in it.
A lot of chatter.
Certain things stand out.
Yeah.
Certain things stand out, and let me find some of those. Let's see. One of the things they say is, I believe that issuing you an authority to carry would put public safety in peril.
Oh.
They say that they say now this is where they talk about Ian and his defending his home and his life during that firebombing.
Yeah.
Your desire to take the law into your own hands is also evident in your response to the arson attempt on your home.
Really?
I cannot reach a conclusion that police protection is not sufficient in the circumstances when you deliberately choose to avoid invoking police assistance in favor of making your own armed response. So, yeah, figure that one out.
I can't. That's amazing. Well, you know what? Let me back up. Unfortunately, it's not amazing because this is Canada, and that's what's happened here. It's become a Gestapo state. This is wrong. I mean, this breaks every rule of freedom, of rights, what's right and wrong. Not necessarily left. It's just wrong. Ian, I could really get fired up here, but you're the guy that should be, and you're relatively calm, I guess, because you're taking it step by step. I guess you expected this kind of answer. Is that fair? Is that a fair statement?
I expected this response, but I did not expect it to take 19 months.
No.
To be frank, I'm quite livid about the length of time that it took to come to this decision. I really did expect a refusal.
Yeah. Why did you expect a refusal? Why did you expect one? You're like all of us. You're totally comfortable with the fact that you can't protect yourself in this country. Why did you expect a refusal? Like, you're qualified, you're this, you're that. You must have had some hope. People, you got all the proof. We're going to show the videos here in a minute. I mean, you got all of that. So even though you expected it, like we all did, you must have had some hope and belief in some system somewhere.
Well, initially, years ago, I did expect that the police would step up and do the right thing. However, the whole atmosphere in Canada has changed when it comes to policing. They seem to have forgotten why they're there. They say serve and protect, but it should be serve and collect. Because it seems like all they really want to do is hand out summonses and ticket people and so on. Nobody can rely on the police for protection. They are reactive. They show up after the crime has been committed. They're not really doing anything to prevent these violent crimes from happening, and that has been proven time and time again. in news stories across this country.
But they're also saying that you, in turn, aren't able to fill that void because you cannot be the first responder. What's your thoughts with regard to our Prime Minister, what he said just the other day? He made a statement contrary to what this 24-page thing says. He says you should and do have the right to protect yourself on a farm, which is a pretty good first step. And what I find interesting about that is that no politician has stood up and say, we follow you, you're leading now, and we're following you, and no one has taken that step. What's your comments on that?
Well, Mr. Harper's comments all around have been quite vanilla on the whole topic of self-defense and firearms in Canada. I'm not necessarily pleased with what he has to say. After I was attacked, I didn't receive a phone call or anything from Mr. Harper, whereas other people have.
But he is, Ian, sorry to interrupt, but in fairness, he is running this great big lumbering machine, and now he is paying attention because it's a bit of his core base as well. So we can only hope. Ed, where are you going now? It's probably premature. You've just got this hot off the press, the 24 pages. I'd love to see every one of them because I bet there's zingers on every page. But what's now? What's next? Are you going back to court? Are you going to sue somebody? If you did, who would you sue?
Well, the court response has to be to a very high court. For instance, here in Ontario, we have to go to divisional court, and that's a 3-panel judge, and we have 3 judges on the panel. We have 30 days to respond. It's a very expensive process. It's very involved, and it has to be initiated quickly. I have to read you this one.
Please do.
Have to read this.
Please do.
This is what they say. If Mr. Thomson were to have a gun on him and he was issued an ATC, were you to draw a firearm in the public realm in circumstances where police were responding or otherwise in attendance, I would expect that potentially deadly force would quickly be focused on you by the police officers in attendance.
Yeah.
That's sort of chilling.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess. You know what? There ain't no fix for stupid. Some people are always going to be that way. And we can only hope that somebody, some great mind in government kind of wakes up and comes out of the ether. That's all we can do. You know, for now, let's motor on and good luck. And I think it has to be pursued. It's a tragedy, Ian. There's no question about that. I mean, imagine taking 19 months to, you know, they're basically just waiting to come out and measure your body, hoping, I think, that you'll be provoked enough that you do take up arms to defend yourself and then you go to prison for 3 years minimum. I mean, the whole system, it's corrupt, it's bad, it's bankrupt. We all get it. We're now going to show some clips here, now that the rants are finished, about what actually happened that day. Ed, good job, and sue somebody. I mean, it's a tragedy against freedom. I'm out of words. You never thought you'd see that day. Hey, I'm out of words. I'm speechless with regard to how to define such an act by the government through its agents to its people. Good luck, Ian. You know what? Persevere. It's guys like you that will make it better. I mean, it's got to be hard on you, fighting all of this time. And you too, Ed, but without you guys, we're really going down the sewer, down the drain. So thank you. Ed, any last comments?
Well, I think that what the CFO's people are saying here with this refusal is in direct contradiction to the position of the leader of our country. Okay. That has to be pointed out.
Well, and then the leader of the country needs to react to that statement, and hopefully he will. Ian, any last comments?
Well, I would just like to thank all of the people in Canada who support our position here on self-defense. I think it behooves everyone in Canada to stand their ground, so to speak, when being attacked. We should not have to retreat. And of course, it will end up being a costly process for people who choose to do so, either in the courts or at their funeral.
Yeah, thanks so much. And if I can just add a final thing to close, all of the government people who say that you shouldn't be allowed to defend yourself, they're girly men and they're cowards. And you know what? The country doesn't need people like that being in charge, because I remember when men were men and women were glad they were. Hey, Ed, how about you?
Exactly.
All right, thanks so much, all of you, and all of you viewers, stay tuned now to see what's going on here with regard to that day. And also, there's a little company called Firearm Legal Defense. You better check that out, because if you're ever in a situation like Ian was or has been in the past, you would need and want to be insured so somebody can pay your legal bills. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Okay, bye-bye.
Hey, you better get that.